Oh, it's so funny, funny watching. I've just been watching an old pal of mine's band. Great lyrics. And if you're too intelligent, they'll cut you down to size. They'll praise you till you're happy, then they'll fill you full of lies. 'Cause intelligence is threatening, and genius is sin. If you could ever see through them, they know they'd never win. I'm not quite sure what that last line's actually saying. Though, because intelligence is threatening. They treat the street as though they're fit because they're not part of the party. And they think they've been withholding things from us, and the intention was to get the street in uproar, and they'd start fighting back physically, weaponry. And some of them would, some of them still would like to even. I mean, it's psychopath rules either side of the centre. Not that I'm suggesting there's a middle path or anything, because there isn't. There's only the whole road, which is mine, by the way. This planet's mine. I claim this planet long ago. And then in the belief systems of the 20th century, I got your God to give it to me. I stopped claiming I'm God myself, because I'm just a piece of equal life, and I'm happy being a piece of equal life, which brings me to the real point of the vlog, the fear of equality. How people can fear equality is well, I mean, well, you're in fear of being equal to all that you are, being that you are all that is anywhere, whether you realise it or not. Avoidance and distraction's not going to change anything. Anyone that says you're not equal is a mere liar. That's a fact. Very interesting recently, as it always is actually. Even more so. Tomorrow's going to be specifically interesting. I've got someone coming along asking me to sign away my, what was the words? I can't remember. Means I shouldn't really be speaking about it, because it's part of this game they're playing. You know, I say I've sorted my persecution complex out, and immediately they start to fake persecution. I say, listen, I've not actually got a persecution complex. I've been persecuted. I've been persecuted since I was a child, one way or another, and it isn't too strong a term. Nevertheless, they don't listen, because it's all a fucking game to them, because they think they're in power. They don't realise that they think they're testing us. They don't realise they're the ones being tested by the very thing that they believe is giving them the authority to test us, broadly speaking, meaning me. Because these vlogs are for me, even though there are people watching. Interesting, last but one vlog I made where I tell myself my self-interest will be my downfall, and I was actually addressing I wasn't addressing myself, but the very opening line of the vlog, notes to self. And I have got self-interested issues that they need dealing with, because working from the self-interested point that all is, well, as I said, it will be my downfall, no doubt. Recognising the loops, and it's interesting the way that things change within the loops, and it's like, it's no use me really concerning myself, because you're not going to stop, and I'm not speaking to myself at this point. You ain't going to stop what's happened. You can't change a thing that has occurred. And then I'd have to expound quantum time reality, which is perhaps a concept theory of my own that explains my own understanding of the nature of the non-linear play out that, well, it's easy to explain it by saying it's only started because it ends. Now, that doesn't make sense, that, to anyone who's casually observing. It only started because it ends. It is an actual truism in anyone understanding the nature of existence, let's call it. I mean, I don't fully understand it, I just know that it's correct, a correct thing to say. But I could be delusional. We all are, in many ways. We do often delude ourselves. I've heard it this morning already, in a way. Good advice, though the advice is a route to delusion. I'm thinking about this Bernard Poolman character, and the one thing people can't deal with is that a man understands self-honesty and is self-honest. So anyone approaching his work, let's call it, if you're not honest about yourself, you fall. It's like, you can't not. The only way to deal with it is to be completely honest, and then he'll still pull you to pieces, because, well, the intricacies of life. Life is an intricate piece of work. It's ongoing, it's in process. It's real. I'm joining iProcess me shortly. Got some physical aspects to sort out. Though, so far, I'm sort of amazed at the consequential effects of destiny process, because it's their process. No one's ever given man such a chance. I understood we were on the route to destruction quite a long time ago, and did my utmost to correct it, though, and there was a bit of delusion coming in there, because I did what I could. I did what I could, and I didn't believe. Believe's not necessarily the right word. I didn't know that there was anybody else that really gave a fuck. I knew there was some that gave a fuck, but there's still always self-interest in still applying the deception, you know, believing you need to go out to work and shit like that. I mean, it still occurs now, and yeah, things do need attending to. Work does need doing. So, just enslave yourselves to 40-hour weeks every week of every year of your life. Well, it's avoidance. It's avoidance of reality. It's participating in a game that was constructed long ago by those who fear not having control of themselves ultimately. So, I mean, I got stopped again by the police yesterday. I tried a new tactic. What's your name? I said, what's your name? Simon Pal, he said. I said, hello Simon Pal, I'm not telling you my name because I don't have to. Well, I'm just said, I'm not interested. I'm sat here, as you can see, and I don't have to speak to you. I said, speaking to him. If it gets to this, what do they call it? It's not a contradiction as such, it's a posh word for it. Well, I'm able to tell him I don't have to speak to him, but to tell him I don't have to speak to him, I have to speak to him. It's like definitions. Definitions really are a thing that one must not apply to oneself yet. One cannot speak in any terms, verbal, written, without using terms of definition. Suppose the trick is then to use them as reference points. Even then though, using it as a reference point is still a definitive term of reference. It's I'm sort of able to use them without actually defining myself with them. And I suppose some sort of awareness must come in with that I'm aware that I'm not the thing, which comes back to my initial encounter with the Destonians on the Desteni-Universe forum. I dared to use the name Lucifer in capital letters, and I don't know what, how could I know what the problem was? There was a problem with the name Lucifer. And I'm guessing that it's because they believe that I believed myself to be Lucifer, Luciferic. I just used it, it's just a name. I have a tendency to use God names for whatever reason. Sort of my reaction, I suppose, to the nonsense that's inherently part of existent human foolishness, let's call it, although not sort of insulting the fools in it, human idiocy. From the Cradle to the Grave, the Subhumans, great album, great band. Dick Lucas, Bruce, Trotsky, Grant. I'll put the link in the box.